Hello, everybody. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. I hope all of you are safe and doing well. And today I've got a little bit of a different video for you. I was just wondering about the Premier League season this year, and I was thinking that it's going to come to an end very soon. So why not talk about the Premier League signings of the season? We're just going to go dive right into it because it's a little bit, of a long list. So let's start off with Emiliano Martinez. Absolutely sensational goalkeeper signing by Aston Villa. They got him for like 20 million euros or something. And the numbers he's had this season are not something you would associate with a Villa goalkeeper, because when you think about it, last year they were so close to getting relegated, and this year they're around 10th or 11th. For a long part of the season, they were also in the top six, which is crazy. And some of Martinez's stats, I think, just are a testament to how good Villa have been this season and how good he has been this season. So when you talk about, I've just got the stats pulled up here. He has a 77.2 save percentage, which I think is probably the highest in the league for a goalkeeper. 14 clean sheets, 38 goals conceded by Villa this season as compared to 67 last season. So you can see the gap, right, that Villa have attained, and all credit, a lot of the credit goes to the defenders. But I think the save that Emi Martinez has made in some games, even if it is to limit the damage, I think they've been absolutely sensational. So for me, Emi Martinez, I'll put a radar on the screen right now for you to see his radar, and that save, the number for saves, I think, just goes to show that he's so good. And for me, one of the signings of the season. Moving on, I'm going to go to Rafinha from Leeds United. Now, a few of you might think this is a little bit controversial, but I think he's the sort of player Leeds United really needed coming into this season, because he's quick, he's got a lot of tricks in his bag, a lot of skills that he does on the wings to get away from his man, to get away from defenders. 12 goals and assists this season, combined, so 6 goals and 6 assists in his game. And if you look at the amount of games he's played, that's a goal or an assist every game, almost a goal or an assist every game. And he's also got 98 shot creating actions, almost 5 or 6 per game, which I think for a team like Leeds United, who like to attack from different parts of the pitch, from the right wing, from the left wing, I think it's a huge number for someone who's put in that sort of position for Leeds United. And when you look at his heat map from this season, I know a lot of you might be surprised because he seems to be all over the place. But for someone who knows how Leeds United play, I feel like it's a little bit unsurprising, but also to see that he's got the defensive work rate as well as the attacking talent and everything. So I think for the, and when he does play for Leeds United, he always makes a difference. So I think Rafinha, for me, one of the signings of the season for Leeds United. They got him for like 20 million euros again. So that seems to be a very good price, and he's also over the course of the season been linked with the bigger teams. Liverpool especially have been linked with him for a long time. So that just goes to show how in demand he also is. So that's Rafinha, second signing of the season for me. Third, we are actually going to come to, again, could be a controversial choice, but I think this man has really made West Ham the team they are right now, because they lie fifth or sixth in the league. They're going to finish in a good position. They have been sensational in the second half of the season, and a lot of it comes down to Thomas Soucek. Again, someone West Ham got for 21 million euros. Okay, so you got to listen to this. He's a central defensive midfielder, usually plays alongside Declan Rice, and he's still got 10 goals and assists this season. So 9 goals and 1 assist, which for a CDM I think is a fascinating number. 0.29 goals per game, best in the top 5 leagues, and that's not a small number by any means. But what Thomas Soucek also gives Villa, I think, sorry, Villa, why am I saying Villa? West Ham, is his aerial prowess, his aerial, power, because he can be deadly in both boxes. He can help you clear your set pieces, and he can also help score. I think that's how most of his goals have also come. But for Thomas Soucek, the thing is, he's got that West Ham spirit in him, which I think makes him a brilliant player, because there was a moment this season when he was bleeding. There was blood all over his face, because he was bleeding somewhere, and he just got up and started playing. like that defines the West Ham spirit in a way. And not to mention, he's also an FPL legend. All my friends who play FPL love him because whenever they're down on points, you can always you just never know when Sochek is going to give you the points. He's just going to come out with the points sometime or the other. So that's one thing. Thomas Sochek, I think third signing of the season for me. Fourth, we're going to come to another goalkeeper, and it's very interesting that out of the seven players I picked, we have two goalkeepers in there. But I just could not, I couldn't not put Edouard Mendy in there because I think for a team like Chelsea who've had their keeper issues with Kepa, and they have been conceding a few goals here and there, and also people criticize Kepa's distribution all the time. So I think getting someone like Edouard Mendy, a keeper for 22 million euros, was a wonderful signing for Chelsea because if you look at his 70.1% save percentage in the Premier League, which I think also is the highest in the top five leagues. I'll have to cross check that fact, but that number again is just brilliant. He's got 16 clean sheets in the 28 games he's played, a 57.14% clean sheet rate, highest in the league definitely. Because although Edison has had more clean sheets, he's played more games as well. So that way you can just see how he's impacted Chelsea in terms of distribution. Also, I think he's done very well because he's very calm on the ball. So if a defender does play the ball back to him, he can take a touch very easily and find some player who's in free space. So that helps Chelsea build up and sort of go on the attack as well at times. And one thing, I'm going to put it on the screen here, the Premier League stats. So you can see that Chelsea last year conceded, they've conceded they've conceded lesser goals this season than they did last year, which is also a testament to how good Mendy has been. But and it's not just the Premier League, he's been very good in other competitions as well, like the Champions League. And for me, yes, definitely one of the signings of the season. Moving on now, the one player I did want to talk about a lot, which for me, I am being biased here as a Man City fan, but how can you look past Ruben Dias? I mean, this guy has absolutely transformed the Manchester City defense because I remember we used to get so much stick for conceding poor goals, conceding goals that could have been avoided. And this guy's just come in and removed everything in his first season at Man City. He perfectly fits into the system. He's got a 94.2% passing percentage rate, which I think really suits the City system because he's very calm on the ball. He's not afraid to play some of those incisive passes into the midfielders in order to break the lines. He's got the leadership aspect, which I think City missed a lot with the likes of when Vassar Company left. I think what they really needed was leadership, and Ruben Dias has provided that. He's also made Man City a team who have conceded only 4 goals in the UCL this year, the Champions League. Only 4 goals, and we're in the semi-finals. We have to play a semi-final second leg as well. So that stat in itself says so much about Ruben Dias's involvement and how good he's made us. I'll put a clip on the screen of one of the interceptions he made this season, and it was mind blowing, which is why I want you guys to see it. It was against Aston Villa at home, and it was honestly mind blowing. And I'm gonna end off the Ruben Dias segment with the fact that he's just 23 years old. Can you guys believe it? He's 23 years old and he's transformed the Man City defense. Can you imagine what he has in store for the next 7 or 8 years? That's what you want from a defender, right? So that's Ruben Dias for you. And finally, so the thing is, I didn't want to include a loan signing, but this loan signing in the January transfer window, I couldn't exclude him from the list. And I mean, you guys might find it a little bit controversial, but I had to put in Jesse Lingard. There's a reason everyone on Twitter has been calling him Lingardinho, Messi Lingard, J Lings, whatever. And this guy he's just been a gem for West Ham. What a signing to make. 12 goals or assists, 9 goals and 3 assists, that is, in 11 matches that he's played, which is definitely a goal or an assist every game. Okay, he's probably had the best goal involvement ratio in the top 5 leagues. But the thing about Jesse Lingard is what he brings to the West Ham team is that star man mentality. You know, he because he is the star man, he's had so much experience with Manchester United. He brings that sort of big game attitude, and that we've seen it in West Ham's games this season. Some of the games they've played against the bigger teams, you know, they might have lost, but they've lost by playing very well. So you know that sort of consistency in your performances, that is what Jesse Lingard brings. And when you look at his heat map just from 11 games this season, you're gonna think about what this man is doing. Like, you know, he's all over the pitch. He's trying to create for West Ham. He's trying to score for West Ham, and he's scoring such great goals as well. You know, I'm going to show you one goal he scored against. It was there in one game. It's on your screen right now, so you'll know who it was against. Probably Arsenal, but you know that's the sort of thing that's the sort of Jesse Lingard we all want to see, you know, and that's the sort of Jesse Lingard we haven't seen at Manchester United. So I'm so happy for him that he made the move to West Ham, and I just had to put him in my best signings of the season you know, list. So that's according to me the best signings of the season. But what I did want to bring you to is a few honorable mentions, and here is where I'm gonna get absolutely murdered by you guys. So I put in my honorable mentions, I put Diogo Jota, who signed by Liverpool. And the only reason he's not in my list is because he's not played that much. He was injured for a long part of the season, but I would just like to say the impact he makes when he plays for Liverpool is massive, considering that the other front three, at least Firmino and Mane, have dropped off a little bit this season. Another person I have here is Ben Chilwell. Now I was picking between Chilwell and Mendy to pick my like Chelsea signing of the season, but I had to go with Mendy because I think also Chilwell's played fewer games because since Tuchel has come, he's been rotating around here and there. So I feel like that's the reason I didn't put Chilwell in there. Another one I have on the list is Ollie Watkins, and I think he's been sensational for Villa. But again, you know, there have been other people who've matched his numbers, not signings, but other strikers who've come into the league this season, so the likes of Bamford, you know, and everyone else, Ian Archer as well getting up there. So I think that's the only reason I didn't put Watkins in there as well. And finally, okay. I was told before I made this video that I would regret saying this, but I put Edinson Cavani in my honorable mentions and not in my list. And again, this just stems from the fact that he's not played enough for Manchester United. I know he's made a huge impact, Cavani. You know, he's come off the bench to score so many important goals. He's now picking up a little bit of form as well in other competitions, and he's sort of rescued Man United as well in a lot of games. So I was told that it's my Man City bias that's not letting me put him in the list, but I assure you it's not. It's just the fact that I think he's played lesser games and you know, he was compared to the fact that Lingard's also played lesser games, but we have to know that Lingard came in January, so that was my reason for not putting Cavani in that list. But those are my Premier League signings of the season. I hope you guys agree with me on some points, but if you don't, or even if you do, just you know, you feel free to put your signings of the season in the comments down below. You can tell me on Twitter, Instagram, wherever you want, on who you would pick, or maybe you can tell me about your favorite club's signing of the season this year. And that's it for the video today. Again, I haven't mentioned it, but do subscribe to the channel if you like what I'm making. There'll probably be a WSL video very soon. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll see you soon in the next one.